Hi, good evening, all of you. Hope I am audible to you. Hope you are able to see the screen and hope you are able to see me so that we can start our training session. If everything is okay, connection is okay, you please put and confirm in the chat box so that um, we will discuss further. My name is Hitendra Kumar Shaha. I am a CGMP compliance consultant, trainer, and auditor on the behalf of NADH plus GXP compliance services. Today we are going to discuss about the topic qualification of shipping containers. My dear friends, remember, most of the people, most of the companies not perform qualification of these shipping containers. I bet you, even you check with your friends, colleagues, team members, and you just check it. If you are manufacturing the temperature sensitive product, or if you are manufacturing some key product, critical product, then the product may be shipped through the containers, right? Now the question is, have you performed qualification of shipping containers? And now, to be very frank, this is the guideline expectations. Okay, there is a clear cut guideline by WHO, so that is the reason I put here the logo of a WHO guideline, that this is the guideline expectation, my dear friends. Remember this thing. Okay, so I know that most of the companies not implemented this qualification of shipping containers, and that is the reason I thought that let us discuss on this topic today, and so that the many people can understand the expectations of the different guidelines, and they can comply the requirements. Okay, so before moving ahead, I just want to request you, if you have any questions, please put in the chat box. That is the one thing. Second thing, if you need a training presentation copy, then please put your request in the chat box so that I will share the link to download the training presentation. Okay, so now let us start our today's training session, and that is the qualification of the shipping content. And this is, again, I'm telling you, this is the guideline requirement. This is not from my personal side. Okay, so I am not just recommending you. Basically, this is the guideline expectation. So what we are going to discuss this, importance of the topic, agenda, and know your trainer. See, there will be a couple of slides about me. My name is Hitendra Kumar Shaha, and I am supporting the pharmaceutical since last more than 25 years. So there will be some slides about my CV, so that if any company consider this as external training, also they can record in their training record that they attended the external training, and they can specify the details. Okay, brief understanding and guideline expectations. So I will discuss about that, about the brief understanding about this topic, and what is the guideline expectations, that we will discuss. Then what are the prerequisites for qualification, then brief on qualification considering the shipping container. See, I understand that you may be in the you are in the pharma, so you may be aware about the qualification, validation, all these concepts, right? But here slightly different thought is there with respect to the qualification. So that is the reason, uh, brief about the qualification considering the shipping containers. And now you can see from your agenda, URS, right? You are aware about the URS, user requirement specification, design qualification. After that, directly the operational qualification. Remember, this is not the error. For qualification of the shipping containers, my dear friend, IQ, installation qualification, is not mandatory. Okay, if you wish, you can perform the installation qualification, but directly you can go to the OQ. This is the guideline. I am going to discuss about guideline, and you will never get this training anywhere else in the pharma. Okay, so please be with me up to the end of this session, so that this will be really interesting and you will learn something different today. If you are in the compliance, definitely this is helpful for you. Remember, these are my words. So here, design qualification, operation qualification, performance qualification, that we will discuss. Then requalification of a reusable container systems. So some containers are the reusable containers. So that reusable container systems, what should be the requalification criteria and all, that we will discuss, followed by the summary, what we discuss in the whole during this session, and followed by the question answers, vote of thanks, and contact details. So this is the topic what we are going to discuss. So my request is, if I am audible to you, everything is okay, connection is okay, if you are able to see me and you are able to see the screen clearly, please confirm in the chat box, so that I will understand, because this is the not the one to one on training. It is online training, so I will not come to know whether you are clear with what I'm telling and all. Also, that is the reason I just want feedback from your side, my dear friends. Okay, so you can just in the comment section. Meantime, I will go with the introduction about the my CV as a part of the training agenda. So my name is Hitendra Kumar Shaha. Again, I am giving my introduction. I am a CGMP compliance consultant, trainer, and auditor from NADS plus GXP Compliance Services. I am in pharma since more than 24 years, and since last 7 years, I am associated with the NADS GXP Compliance Services. I am having expertise from different regulatory agencies and different regulatory inspections I personally faced, because since last 13 years, for total 13 years, I independently handled the quality control and quality assurance department. And this is my brief about the CV. One more thing, I just want to tell you that I am in a third party auditing services. So I am providing the different type of audit services like gap audit, mock audit, due diligence audit, vendor audit, or you can say the supportive audit or subject matter expertise audit, subject matter expertise audit, because you have to identify who is the SME, and whether that is you identify the SME, whether that SME is correct or not. For that purpose also you need to evaluate. So all the different type of audits, including the vendor audits, I am doing. So since last more than 13 years I am in auditing role, and every month I am conducting 5 to 6 audits. So till date, maybe more than 500 vendors or suppliers are audited by me. And about the training, if you ask me about the training, more than 10,000 uh, participants might have I might have trained till date, in my whole career. About my work profile, I started my career with Sun Pharma. Then I work in Blue Cross Laboratories. I work in a export oriented unit in Alembic Pharma. I work in a Jadis Cadilla in a compliance team. Then I work in a quality head. I work in a USV as a quality head. Then I work in AstraZeneca. I work in Sanofi in a global external sourcing team, and then I work in Mylan. This is my major work experience, and since last 7 years, I am with the NADA GXP compliance services. So about NADA GXP compliance services, we are the registered organization under Government of India, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, that is MSME, under this unique number, registration number. And also I am the approved trainer by Government of India, and Government of India has provided this unique trainer number TP231534. And believe me, if you are interested in the certificate, so on the certificate also this trainer number will be appearing. Okay? So this is the uniqueness of so if you are interested in a training certificate of today's training session, you can confirm me, because the training certificate is given these facilities for the membership programs for CGMP and advanced GMP members. So if you are a member, you can definitely get the certifications. Before moving in the actual discussion, I just want to put a disclaimer that whatever I collected this all information based on the guideline, literature searches, and different searches. So solely please consider this as a learning purpose and refer the current guideline, because what happened, whatever I am discussing today, a copy will be automatically recorded in the YouTube. So you will be accessing after the long time. Miss. See, today is what is the date today? 20th of September. Okay, so we are discussing on 20th of September. So if you are ending after this session, if you are going through this webinar after this after today or tomorrow also, that will be available. So my request is, please follow the current guideline if you want to implement it at your organization. Okay, very good guideline, and very clear information given in the guideline, but still many companies not implemented this, and they are prone to get the non-conformity observation. So I will just check it whether the I'm audible and everything is okay. Yeah, I think yeah, it is confirmation is given. Emmanuel has confirmed that you're audible and clear, sir. Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. So let us move ahead with the discussion about the brief understanding about a topic. Okay, now this is very important when you are manufacturing the TTSPP. So what is TTSPP? TTSPP means time and temperature sensitive pharmaceutical product. This is the terminology used by WHO, so I am using the same terminology, so that if you will come to know that I am not telling from my side, it is the guideline requirement. Okay, and remember again I am telling you, you will never get the discussions or training anywhere else other than the this our channel. Okay, so to be very frank I am telling you, because I searched a lot of YouTube videos for this also, that anyone prepared or taught training on this topic, what they expect and what are the expectations of the different people and all, but I could not find anything else. So what is the time and temperature sensitive pharmaceutical? Any pharmaceutical goods or product which when not stored or transported within a predefined environmental conditions and or within a predefined time limits is degraded to the extent that is no longer performs as originally intended. This type of products are called TTSPP, means time and temperature sensitive pharmaceutical product. Simple word, the product which are very much sensitive for with respect to the time and temperature, means the product when we want to the dispatch to the customers or the clients. So and if the product are temperature sensitive, or maybe we need to dispatch the product, deliver the product within a very short time due to the condition of the product or nature of the product, then this type of products are called the TTSPP, time and temperature sensitive pharmaceutical products. Most of the biotech products falls under this category. Most of the injectable, which are the retroviral or potent products, falls under this category. Most of the vaccines, of course biotech I told, so that vaccines and all also will be fall under this category. Even the COVID vaccine also falls under this category. Even some API which are sensitive enough, that also falls under this category. Some steroid API again falls under this category. So this is applicable for the product which are sensitive. Very simple definition. Okay, I think the clear making the point clear to you. Okay, so what is exact guideline expectation? Okay, so what guideline affecting? So this is what I put in the slide. Simple. Okay, and I directly copy and pasted this content from the guideline, so that the people should not get confused. Okay, every shipping container system must be fully qualified to show that it is fit for purpose and capable of monitoring a TTSPP within the temperature range needed to meet the product manufacturer stability profile under the anticipated transport condition. Very simple thing. It is very clear in the first two line that every shipping container system must be fully qualified to show that it is fit for purpose. Very clear, huh? Statements are very influential. So if you are not doing this, you are prone to get the non-conformity observations. I am very clear. Qualification must also demonstrate that system can sustain handling and transport while protecting the physical integrity of the product. And the third is, these multiple challenges are described in the user requirement specification. So there will be multiple challenges will be there when you transport the product from one area to another area, one location to another location. And if the product is temperature sensitive, then again the requirements becomes very crucial. So you have to prepare first UI. So how you follow the normal qualification process, same process you have to follow, but slightly focus will be different. That is what we will discuss and touch upon here. Okay, everyone is clear, and I have put the I have put one um, poll in our live session that have you implemented the this shipping containers qualification. I to be very frank, I have audited more than 500 sites, and from my experience I am telling you that maybe the poll I will get it maybe the 100% no answer. To be very frank, I am telling you. So I am not prompting you, but this is what I am just anticipating from my experience. Okay, but you can transparently give your feedback on the poll. Okay, so those who are responsible for conducting qualification testing must be capable of operating the equipment necessary to complete the test and be familiar with and follow good laboratory and documentation practices. Very clear. So the personal qualification plays a very important role. Just you are aware that when you are doing qualification, then the people should be trained, people should aware about what type of testing they are doing. So same, the basic GMP need to be followed. Even the good laboratory practices, good laboratory documentation practices also need to be followed. This is the prerequisites for the qualification. So the simple GMP requirement, I will tell you here, it's a simple GMP requirement, right? Now what are the other prerequisites? And the first very important thing is quality risk management. So when you start the qualification, of course you are aware about that all qualifications, validation, and all other activities should be risk-based approach, right? So here also you need to have the risk-based approach. Why? Because you have to identify the environmental conditions, the distribution lanes through which the proposed container will travel, and you have to consider the anticipated scenarios, that what might go wrong, what will be the problems when deciding on the qualification of temperature ranges. Different temperature ranges will be there, so many the different scenarios will be there, so that scenarios need to be assessed. And then after assessment of the scenarios, then you need to put some action plan, and this action plan you have to put in the URS, user requirement specification, right? So that is the reason it is a risk-based approach. Then packaging assembly. So it should have a full details about the defined, tested, and documented what type of product, and what will be packaging. So that packaging assembly is important information required. Product load. So how much load of the product will be there in the particular container with respect to the minimum load, maximum load, that all need to be specified and established. Transport route and mode of transport. So what will be the route and what will be the mode of transport? These also plays a very, very important activity. Again, if you feel the time fast, you can use the speed. And if you have any questions, you can put your questions in the chat box. I will definitely respond to your all queries. Okay. So I think at this moment the some people put the yes, 33% people say yes, and 67% people are telling no. It is really good. So if the people are telling yes, then that's really good. That I am happy that you implemented that. You very good. So now let us discuss about the brief about the qualification with respect to the shipping containers. Okay, I'm understanding that you have the basics about the qualifications. What is URS? What is DQ, IQ, OQ, PQ? You whole qualification requirement definitions. You are aware about that. That is what I am anticipating. If you are not aware about the basics of qualifications, you can put your comment. I will share the link from where you can go through the complete qualification basics in detailed. Okay, detailed in line with the guideline requirement. Again, I am telling you. Okay, and whenever I am using the word guideline requirement, that will be the regulatory guidance. Okay, so brief on qualification. So basically WHO expects that there are three types of qualifications. three stages of qualification, basically DQ, OQ and PQ. If a DQ and OQ have not been completed, it is the responsibility of the user to complete these two stages before proceeding to the PQ. In all cases, URS must be written and approved before testing takes place. Any deviation from the test protocols must be documented as an exceptional conditions. Okay. So here very important thing is there are three types of qualifications: DQ, OQ and PQ. Now you will ask me why IQ is not there. IQ is not there because the containers will be go on using it. So once it is designed, in line with the design only the container will be prepared, and when you use the container, being a pharma, you assess as a vendor evaluation, you assess whether container is in line with your requirement or not. So whatever the number of sensors or the compressor or the temperature control mechanisms or whatever you want to study, that you can evaluate as a part of the vendor evaluation only. You're getting my point. So that is the reason the IQ is not the part of this qualification. But yes, when you prepare the final PQ report, that time you have to specify all these things. Means what are the sensors, their calibrations, their all the traceabilities, then their compressor number, everything, vehicle number and everything, shipping container number, everything you can specify in the PQ report. Okay, that means you are not skipping the information which you are putting in the IQ, but that information you can put in the final PQ, because PQ will be done on the final you can say the actual commercial shipments. Okay, that we will discuss in detail, but I am here telling you why IQ is not a part, why IQ is not WHO in this case, in this qualification of the shipping containers, that I am trying to clarify you. Okay, and of course URS is there, so it should be written and approved. Okay, and if any deviation is there, then the deviation should be recorded as per the your reporting structure. So if you have a deviation recording in your protocol or report, you can specify there. If you have the SOP to address, then also you can address separately, is not a problem. So now let's discuss one by one with respect to qualification, and the first thing is the URS, and this is what the definition of a URS given specifically for the shipping containers. But overall the thought process is same about all that concepts about URS, DQ, OQ, PQ. Concepts are same, thought process are same, but the requirements are something different. So I thought that I will discuss with you. So what is the meaning of URS? URS means user requirement specifications. So user requirement specification means the attributes assigned by the user in advance of a qualification test to establish minimum performance limit. So basically what happened in advance, whatever the expectations are there by user, it is recorded. That is called the URS in simple words, right? Sometimes it is also referred as a functional requirements document. So this is the requirement of this guideline. So now coming to the point that what minimum should be specified in URS. It should contain product load specification, ambient temperature profiles, so shipping duration, so what will be the shipping durations, allowable product temperature range, so what is the temperature, maximum temperature range is allowed in the product, and other performance characteristics may also be need to be included in the document. Other performance means the vibration studies or also can be considered as a part of the URS. So once you prepare URS approved by your team, then you can go DQ, means design qualification. So design qualification means the process of obtaining and documented evidence that the premises, equipment and supporting systems and processes have been designed in line with the requirements of a CGMP. It is called a design qualification. This is a definition is given. So more or less the process of a normal design qualification definition and here are same. Okay. Now, very important point is what should be in the design qualification for shipping containers. That is what our today's topic, right? Yes or no? So now, what should it in the design qualification? So very important thing is all new shipping container systems must successfully meet the predefined acceptance criteria set out in an approved DQ protocol or a project scope document. So very important thing is what? All the new shipping containers should have a DQ. Remember, these all documents are available with the vendor, but they are not being shared to the people in the site. To be very frank, I am telling you. In the case a system that is already pre-qualified, it will only be necessary to repeat the DQ stage if system specification do not appear fully to meet the requirements of end user. So if your end user requirements are not fully addressed in the DQ, then of course you can perform additional DQ in addition to the document. But if you want this document, DQ document, you can definitely get from the vendor. Okay, you have to request vendor to get the DQ document, and if some requirements are not fulfilled by as your user requirements are not fulfilled in DQ, then you can update your the DQ and you can press the separate DQ. Okay, and of course if any deviations are there, that you have to DQ. Okay, further when we discuss about a DQ, it should be done under the the control conditions. I mean, it is not in the actual transportation. So before actual transportation of a commercial product, you have to perform the DQ. That is called the laboratory controlled conditions. That is called the laboratory control conditions. Means without the actual commercial shipment. Okay. Then what you have to do under the DQ? You have to evaluate the basic design requirements, that whatever the designs are there, it is suitable for you. So any constraints are there, that also you have to evaluate. Any deviations are there, that you have to document it. And a minimum, the packing configuration should be tested in the DQ. So what you have to test? One heat profile for maximum load, one heat profile for minimum load, then one cold profile for maximum load, and one cold profile for minimum product load. This way you have to minimum perform the DQ when you want to perform the design qualification for the your shipping container. Okay. Now what is OQ? So qualification is very simple. Operational qualification means the process of obtaining and documenting evidence under controlled conditions that the premises, equipment and supporting systems operate in line with the design specifications. So here very important point is OQ is under the controlled conditions, or you can say the laboratory conditions, means without actual product. Okay, this is called the OQ. Now let us discuss what should be part of the OQ and what should when we perform the OQ for shipping, what points you should consider. This now we will discuss here now. So as with the DQ stage, an OQ may not be required when a pre-qualified shipping system is used. Means suppose if you qualify some shipping containers, they are the reusable containers. Now if that container is already pre-qualified, then again it is not required to perform the qualification. That is what the point here. In such a case, OQ report can often be provided by the container system supplier either free of charge or for the fees. So what happens if it is a pre-qualified shipment is there by some other customers or other clients or other regulated agency also, so they can provide the OQ also, operational qualification. So you can ask them, either they can share that OQ free of cost, or by taking some nominal fees they can share the OQ. Okay. However, if a pre-qualified shipping system OQ report is relied upon, no substitutions or modifications to the design of package can be made. So if you are fully following or using the shipment documentation like DQ OQ, then no problem, you can rely completely on their document, but then you are not allowed to make any changes in the system. If you make any changes in the system, then you have to again perform the DQ and OQ and PQ. You got my point? So if you are getting the ready-made document from DQ and OQ from vendor, then you can just check it whether it is in line with the requirement. You use the requirement and you can directly use it, no problem. But if you want to make some modifications in the existing shipping container, considering your requirements, then you have to again perform the this test. The performance of the system as set out in the report must demonstrably meet or exceed all the specifications in the end user's URS. Of course, so the URS, that is what the meaning of the things. So we can put the OQ now. OQ is carried out under laboratory conditions, very clear. So OQ protocol should contain the pack out arrangement. So how the packaging will be arranged in the container, and the acceptance criteria for the the shipping system. So what is the acceptance criteria? And very important thing is OQ should be performed in triplicate. OQ should be performed in triplicate. So as a minimum, the protocol should define the test criteria derived from the initial risk assessment. So whatever test you will perform, that test should be based on the identified the mitigation plan from the risk assessment. So what should be there? Normally the transport duration, so how much time it will take for transport, acceptable temperature range, payload details, ambient temperature profile. So if ambient temperature is there, so what will be the profile, location of temperature monitoring devices, transport and stress test, means vibration and drop test. This test can be considered the operational qualification. Hope that point is very clear, and simple point is there. But my discussion here is, the many companies not implementing this. So I am explaining you, please implement at your end, because what happened, you may be manufacturing API or oral dosage form or maybe any biotech and all. So other product may not, most of the product may not be TTSPP, temperature and time sensitive product. So definitely you don't require much here. But the point is, if any single product is also there which is the time and temperature sensitive pharmaceutical product, you need to comply this requirement. Otherwise you are likely to get the non-conformity from the regulatory authority. At this moment, to be very frank, you are lucky that it is not detected by the regulatory authority, but future we don't know, right? And this is the guideline expectation. I am not telling something different, or very hi-fi the things. It is a guideline requirement. It is already available in the guideline, and this is our responsibility to comply this. Right? So this is what I was just OQ, and now PQ. PQ is what? The process of obtaining and documenting discussion here required, but very important discussion is required about the what should be included in the PQ. That is what the interested topic, right? Again, I am telling you, if you have any question, please put your questions in the comment section. I will respond to your all questions. Don't worry, okay? And if you feel that I must, you can tell me, or you can reduce the speed so that we will understand in a better way. So PQ, so basically PQ is conducted as a field test in the real operating environment, actual shipment. So what happened when you perform the PQ, it may take more duration, maybe 6 months or 10 months or 1 year also it may take it, because you have to ship the goods will be reached there, and then you will get the data, you need to evaluate, so it will take time, and that is also in a 3 cycles. PQ is also required to perform in a 3 cycles. OQ is also required in a 3 cycles. But difference in OQ is on the laboratory scale, means without the shipment, actual shipment, but the PQ is on the actual real operating environment. Okay, so PQ protocol should contain some representative of existing shipping operations, and which should include the number of ship to locations, number of ship from locations, number of shipments to be tested, the time of year of the shipments are to occur. PQ test should be performed 3 times, that is what I told you, and after that you have to periodically perform the PQ. Here the cash point is here, so if you perform the PQ at the start, periodically you perform the PQ. Okay, it should be on risk base, but my point is why you need to do periodic, because you need to identify some additional requirements that somewhere you are lacking or not, that you have to evaluate. And of course you need to assign some requalification criteria based on some changes in the components, shipping routes or shipping durations. So what happened, how you can do the qualification? So suppose if you are distributing the goods for different countries, 1 2 3 4 10 countries, so you have to identify which route is more critical, which route is taking the more time, which product is more critical. So this way you have to identify the worst case scenario, and based on that you can perform the PQ. The clear and everything is clear to all of you, right? So that 3 tests per shipping containers are required for minimum and maximum product payload. So just like the minimum and maximum load you have to consider for each maximum, you have to consider the triplicate run for PQ. These are guideline requirements, so I am just sharing with you. Okay? To comply the requirement, you have to fulfill this. Very clear. At a minimum, each series of tests should be conducted during the warmest and the coolest part of the year. Warmest part of the year means like a summer, and coolest part of the year means winter. So this way you can perform it. Additional tests can be conducted on other times during the year or whenever the new containers are being considered for adoption. So additional test you can consider if the new container is coming, so maybe you can consider the additional test. If the if the test container is to be used on multiple routes, then determine and choose the worst case shipping lane. What I told you, that whenever the container is used in multiple routes or multiple countries, so then you have to identify that which is the worst case shipping lane, what is the case of shipping method, and based on that you have to consider the study, because this will expose the container system to maximum stress in terms of the temperature and duration. And our main focus is that the dispatch of the product or shipping of the product which are the time and temperature sensitive pharmaceutical product, right? So that is the reason time and temperature plays a very important role when you want to identify the worst case scenario. Clear? So some passive given by WHO, so I thought that I will explain you. There are some generic passive containers with the coolant packs are available, provided, pictures are provided by WHO. So you can, these pictures can use some insulated cartons or some silica gels where you can freeze it and then you can put in this, or you can have a complete containers. If the quantity is very small, you can use this type of containers, coolant packs. These containers are called the passive containers, while the big containers you can use for a big load. So if you are using these packs also, you have to do the qualification. Very clear, right? It is not only for the big containers. Qualification. So please don't underestimate this requirement, that when you are discussing about this requirement, please understand that these requirements are not for only the big containers, but if you are using this type of passive containers or small containers where you are using some silica gel bags which are you put in the refrigerator for overnight, and then you put that silica gel bag to protect the storage condition in the adjacent to the product and all, that containers also need to be qualified in line with this guideline. This is what the point I want to make you a very clear statement. So there are some reusable containers, right? So some containers are reusable, some containers are the one-time container, disposable container. So when we are discussing about the reusable containers, then you need to do the requalification of these reusable containers, and this is the guideline again the expectation. So reusable shipping container with and without interchangeable parts should periodically be requalified to ensure that the thermal performance has not been adversely affected as a result of age, change in the chemical properties, physical damage of gassing, evaporation of a temperature stabilizers, or other potential performance loss. Because what happened on aging, this all problem will happen. There will be leakage of the gas from the compressor, so compressor need to run more on temperature stabilizer side, so they get evaporate, so temperature loss will be there, or due to some physical damage, so many things can happen. So due to that, the periodic requalification is required for the reusable container. So if you qualify the container and if you use the container for shipment, very good, but you need to do the requalification on some periodic basis. That period you can decide based on the risk based approach also, you can decide, but requalification is required. Generally, this requalification process is user defined. Typically it is done on annually on the basis of a risk assessment or when there is some significant change in the transport operation. So simple message, right? So this is what about I was telling about the requalification of containers. So overall summary is what. So if you ask me about the overall summary, the qualification consists of three sequential testing stages: DQ, OQ, and PQ. For shipping containers, I am discussing. Okay, if the container manufacturer can demonstrate that the product has already passed appropriate performance assessment, the DQ stage is not required because already the DQ is performed by the vendor. Vendor can directly give to you. In such case, you will be form part of the pre-purchase assessment or vendor evaluation process, and you have to do the 3 cycles for OQ and PQ. Requalification criteria should be established and it should be followed, and of course the QRM is very important role. So initially you have to perform the risk assessment, and then based on that you have to move ahead. And very important message, that do not forget that this is the guideline expectations, so compliance is your responsibility. This is the guideline expectation, so compliance is your responsibility. This is very clear message. Okay? And with respect to this, I say that in the training session you got the idea about the qualification of the shipping containers. And now I just want to inform you that there is a membership program. In the description section there is a link for YouTube membership program. The three categories are there for YouTube members: GMP, CGMP, and advanced GMP. So the member, there are some special short videos which are accessible for all these levels. Only the normal subscribers or normal viewers may not able to view these videos. So only these three category of the people membership programs, under this membership program this video will be available to view. Second is, if you are interested in a certificate, then you can opt for a CGMP or advanced GMP membership, so that you will get the certification. And if you need any personal support or personal clarifications, then you can go for advanced GMP membership. The you and believe me, this the payment of the fees for GMP, CGMP, and advanced GMP will be given to the YouTube only. Please don't pay anybody. Please don't pay anyone. You have to pay directly the fees to the YouTube only. You need the fees to anyone. Please remember, considering the current issues with respect to the hackers and all, please remember that. Please pay to the YouTube only. Don't pay anyone else. This is what from my side. Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind presence. And these are my contact details. If you are interested in any learning or any other topic, that also you can share me, so that I will discuss this topic maybe in the future. Thank you so much, and now let us discuss on the your questions. So okay, yeah, presentation is required. Okay, I will share you the presentation, just a minute, because after this training, no, I will not able to share the presentation. So presentation I will able to share only uh, you know now only. Link to download the training presentation. So you can download the training presentation immediately, because link will expire in just couple of days. Okay. Okay, okay. In between, maybe the voice was the problem. Okay, great, great. Satish Kumar is asking for APIs. This is applicable for ambient products. See, basically, if the product is a the sensitive for duration, means the product is having a shorter shelf life, then yes, it is required, though it is ambient storage. And if the product is sensitive for temperature also, it is required. See, some radioactive product elements, no, radioactive products, they have very short duration, so that you need to follow. Transportation validation is something different. Okay, this is the shipment of qualification of the shipment. Transport validation is different, so it will not suffice the requirement. Hope you got the PPT. Okay. Guideline name, it is a WHO guideline. Shivanagi Reddy Vanga is asking guideline name. So it is the WHO guideline. You can just search. You will get the guideline in available in the Google. Vijay Ghosh is asking, we have done shipping study through protocol base. Is it acceptable? My dear friend, see, these are the requirements of guidelines. So you can just go through that. If it is in line with the guideline, then definitely you are complying. So shipping study means what exactly? You have to perform the qualification of the particular equipment or the shipment or the container which you are using for shipping purpose. You got my point? You may be performing the performance of your shipment and all, but whatever the equipment you are using, that equipment need to be qualified. Kushal Ravi is asking, uh, with which material OQ is performed. See, when what you can do, you can put some containers, empty containers in the thing, so that you will get some full load and the empty load, or minimum load or maximum load conditions. And second thing, other will be information will be from temperature and all that, you can take it. Stability study in place. Sri Mr. Siva Nagar Reddy Vanga, stability study, to be very frank, will not serve the purpose for transportation. Stability study, many people have that thought that I am having a stability study at 40 degrees centigrade, so no problem. But the point is, you have the stability study of 40 degrees for only 6 months. You don't have the stability that after the 6 months of accelerated condition, you are transferring the accelerated product in the long term study, because after excursion the product will be stored at the recommended storage condition at the customer end. So we don't have the study of a product stability where the product is exposed to high temperature and then it is stored in the normal temperature. Remember this point, okay? So stability will not solve the purpose, my dear friend. Please understand this. Stability purpose is something different. To claim the storage condition of the product, not to claim or not to justify the transportation. Many people make this, mistake. Satish Kumar is asking difference between qualification and transportation study. See, here the qualification study means what? Whatever the container you are using, that container need to be qualified. And transportation study is nothing but the validation of your transportation activity. Just like equipment you are using. So equipment is first qualified and then you are performing the validation on that particular equipment. So same thought, same concept is here. The container first need to be qualified and then you have to perform the validation, and that validation is nothing but the transportation study. Okay. So pro gamer QP, OP is asking how to join advanced GMP. See, pro gamer OP, I don't know your name, but see, when you want to join the advanced GMP membership, there is a link in the description section. You can click the link, and even if you don't get the link also, you can just go to Hitendra Kumar Shah, and you will get the join button. You click the join button, and there you can go to the advanced GMP and you can join it. Very simple process is there, Mr. Pro Gamer OP. Okay. Satish Kumar is asking containers. Anyway, we are doing vendor qualification. Very good. So if in the vendor qualification documentation, if these all the checks are considered, then you need not do the DQ and OQ. That is what my point is. But all the points are considered in the things or not? That is the first question. Second thing, do you have the URS for that? Most of the companies, they don't have the URS. So my point is, you need to have a qualification strategy for shipping containers. So you have to perform the risk assessment. Based on that, you have to perform the URS, and based on the URS, you have to perform DQOQ. So if the vendor has performed the DQOQ, no problem, you consider that document from vendor, you consider that all assessment as a part of the vendor qualification, no problem. You got my point. But do you have the URS of the shipping containers? Answer will be no. Most of the, how many? 74% answer will be no. Do you have the risk assessment of the shipping containers? The 74% answers will be no. This is the point, that is the reason I am telling you. See, uh, the thought process is, requirements are very clear, we have to comply these requirements. Okay, this is not the part, that how we can justify the things, how we can comply the things. This is what the expectations under this guideline. Okay, hope now everyone is clear with this discussion and the training. So thank you so much. There are now at the end, 32% are telling yes, so thank you, good that you are in the compliance mode, and 68% are running under the non-compliance mode. Very clear, the data is here. Okay, there are about so many votes are there. So this is the thing. Okay, so I think you download the training presentation and everything is clear now. So thank you so much, and the next week we will again have a discussion on the new topic, and that topic, if you are interested in any new topic, that also you can share it to me. Thank you so much, and ensure all time compliance. Thank you so much. And now I am closing our today's training session here. Okay, thank you so much. After this, if you have any question, put in the comment section. I will respond to you, because now I am closing this session. Okay.